channel. So today we are going to be doing a first impressions on most of the products that I purchased and showed you all in my previous haul. And this is the makeup look that I came up with. I actually love this look. So in case y'all want to know my reviews and thoughts on all the products that I introduced to you guys in my previous haul, please keep watching. Hi guys, so let's get started. I've already applied my foundation because I'm already doing a first impressions on that. Let's move on to a concealer. For concealer, I'm using my Instant Age Rewind concealer in the shade medium, and I'm gonna apply this wherever I normally apply my concealer, that is under my eyes, on my T-zone region, and wherever I feel I need a little bit of highlighting. And with my white makeup sponge, I'm just blending it out. So it blends out pretty well, and it does not actually give me that full coverage that my Tarte concealer gives me, but it is pretty close to that. And the texture of this concealer is also very comfortable. It's not at all heavy looking or heavy feeling on my face. So I'll just set my entire face with my setting powder, and I can tell you that this concealer is not like a full coverage concealer. I don't know whether I used it less or not, but it is like a medium coverage concealer. It's not as full as the Tarte Shape Tape, as I said earlier, but it sets pretty well, and it actually feels like the Tarte Shape Tape as well, but only the coverage is not as full as I want it to be. So as of now, I like the concealer, but I'm not completely like totally fallen in love with it. It's just that I like the concealer. I will test it out more and let's see whether it grows on me or what happens. We'll see. So for my eyebrows today, I'm gonna try this Maybelline Fashion Brow Pomade in the shade Deep Brown, I suppose. Now I do not know how I'm gonna use this because this is not gonna fit my brows. I am gonna use my eyebrow brush and see what it does. So I'm just taking my brush and scraping off the product on it. So it is pretty creamy and it's working out pretty well as of now. And it blends out very easily, so like it's very easy to use if you're using a brush, of course. My final thoughts on this eyebrow pomade is that I like it, but I do not love it. The fact why I don't love it is because I feel it's too creamy, and it kind of gets very difficult to, you know, get that pigmentation out of it. And it's so creamy, and I don't know, it just gives me a natural looking eyebrow effect. If you're like to have a natural looking eyebrow, you all can totally go for this product. It is good, but for me, I like my eyebrows to be more bold, and I have gone in and filled in with the eyebrow powder. That is why they are looking so full right now. But apart from that, it is a good product if you want to have a natural looking eyebrow. Now let's move on to the fun part, that is the eyeshadow. And for my eyeshadow, I am gonna be using my Faces Ultime Pro eyeshadow palette in the shade Rose. This is what the palette looks like. Now today I'm thinking of going for a kind of smoky with a hint of purple. So let's see how it goes. I'm going to start off with my transition shade. So for my transition shade, I'm going to start off with this very pretty pink color right here. Very lightly going to apply it right in my transition area. And I'm just applying it very lightly in my transition area, and I'm applying this with my MAC 204 brush. Love this to apply my eyeshadow. It's so very soft and it blends all the eyeshadows pretty well. So this pink shade is not very pigmented. It's like a tiny hint of pink, and they blend out very well. As you can see the difference, it just gives you a hint of pink. That's all I need. And then I am going to be using this shade right here, and I'm going to be applying this a little lower than the previous shade, a little bit on my crease. And then just to deepen up the outer corners and my crease a little bit, I'm using this darker shade of this palette. This is like a dark brownish purpley shade. So as you all can see right off the bat, this eyeshadow is not as pigmented as I expected it to be. It's pretty sheer actually, so I have to go like again and again to build the intensity, how much I feel I need. And even when I'm layering it, it's not building that well. They are blending pretty well, but they are not building up to the intensity that I need. Like, they're not that pigmented, and they do have quite a bit of fallout, as you all can see here. But don't worry about that, I'm just gonna brush it off. Here I'm gonna be using this shade right here as my eyelid shade, and I'm gonna use my fingers itself because I feel that that will give me the most amount of pigmentation. So this color is absolutely amazing. I love this color. It is very, very pigmented. I just wish that all the other shades were as pigmented as this one. So I just applied some winged eyeliner, and today my wing gave me so much trouble. It just ended up getting so damn thick, but it's okay. Sometimes I have good wing days, sometimes I have bad wing days. Today is a bad wing day, so yeah. Now let's finish our lash line, our lower lash line. So for that I'm gonna take this purple shade. I am very, very excited to use this, but once I swatched it, it was not as pigmented, and as of now the palette is not as pigmented as I expected it to be. So again, as I said, you need to keep building this eyeshadow. So my final thoughts on this Faces Ultime Pro eyeshadow palette is that it is an okay palette. I'm not at all impressed by it, especially the pigmentation on all the matte eyeshadow shades. They are not as pigmented, and I have to work quite a lot to get the pigmentation that I need. But the shimmery shades are pretty good in this palette, so is it worth a buy? If you all want another addition to your collection, you all can totally go for it. Otherwise, just skip this palette. It's not that impressive. So for my face, let's start with contouring and bronzing. For that, I'm actually using this BH Cosmetics contour palette. Now, I had this palette like since such a long time, but I've never ever used it. I just forgot about it, and yesterday I came across it in my makeup collection, and I was like, oh my god, I haven't used this as of yet. And just look at the shades, they're so affordable. I think you get this for $12, and for $12 or $18, I'm not really sure, but it's under $20. For that cost, you get 10 contour shades, and it's pretty amazing. And I've heard that this palette is actually very good. Okay, for bronzing, I'm going to be using this shade right here. So yeah, this palette is pretty pigmented. As you all can see, I just took a little bit of it, and it's already given me that pigmentation, and it blends pretty well. A little bit down our jawline. And I'm also gonna contour. For my contour, I am using this shade right here. It's a very beautiful cool toned brown, perfect for contouring. It's such a perfect shade to contour with. It's the perfect mix of cool toned brown. And also pinching the brush and contouring my nose. So this palette is absolutely amazing for the price point. It is a very beautiful palette. In case y'all want to get this palette, I'll link it down in the description box below from where y'all can get this palette. So today we're going to apply a blusher. I have this Colourpop blusher in the shade Kae Pop Flush. This is the matte finish blusher, and I've never ever tried this one out, and the formula on this is very, very different. It's like in between powder and creamy. So this is what the color looks like. I absolutely love this color. Such a beautiful peachy nudie shade. I absolutely love the color. And actually the formula is pretty different, but it blends out pretty well, at least with this Real Techniques blusher. Real Techniques buffing brush, so it's meant to apply foundation with it. So I think this is the perfect brush to apply my blush with. And it is not a very pigmented blush, so like if you dip it once twice you will get a little bit of blush on your face, so you can build it up. So a blusher, when it is of the formula where you can build it up, is the best blush, because you do not want your blush to be very pigmented, otherwise you're just gonna end up looking like a clown. So I like that fact that you can build this blush up. Let's move on to the next product. Now the next product is actually a highlighter, and I do not have a new highlighter, so I'm just going to use my Stars Professional Makeup bronzer in the shade 1. I absolutely love this highlighter, and for the cost of it, it's amazing. So before moving on to our lips, we are first going to set our face, and for that I'm using my NYX Matte Finish Setting Spray. Again, this I showed you in my previous haul, and let's see. So for our lips today, I am using this Nykaa Matilicious Lip Cream in Lip Crayon in the shade Next Level Nude. So this is not exactly my first time I'm using this. I actually love this lipstick and I've never used it on my YouTube channel, so I thought this is the perfect time to use this as my nude shade on my lips. And for this entire look, this shade is going to look absolutely beautiful. The formula on these lipsticks are amazing. They're not at all drying, and they're so very matte, and they're so long lasting. Love these lipsticks. Nykaa has done such a good job with these, and they are so very inexpensive as well. So this has been my favorite color this entire season. Love this lipstick. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you guys liked it. In case y'all have any other makeup videos that y'all would like to see in the future, whatever y'all like to see, just don't forget to comment in the comment box below and I will do it for y'all. So yeah, that's it for this video, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Bye.